Coming to get you, Bobber.
The Green Inferno is a 2013 horror movie directed by Eli Roth, and it stars Lorenza Izzo, Ariel Levy and Aaron Burns. As usual guys, this is an older movie, so there's going to be spoilers in this review. A group of student activists travel to the Amazon to save the rainforest and soon discover they are not alone and that no good deed goes unpunished. When this movie was in production, I obviously saw the similarities between The Green Inferno and Cannibal Holocaust and Cannibal Ferox and movies similar to it, but they did say that Cannibal Holocaust, this isn't a direct remake of Cannibal Holocaust. It obviously takes a lot of inspiration from Cannibal Holocaust, and it even takes Cannibal Holocaust's working title, which was called The Green Inferno. The title The Green Inferno was also used in a 1988 horror movie with a similar plot. I think the movie was banned in a few countries, or it got a lot of delays in some countries. It didn't come out here in the UK till about February 2016, and that's due to the nature of the movie and the gore that was used in it. If we start with the acting, I don't want to talk about the acting too much because there was some dodgy acting in it, and I think that's due to the nature of the movie again, because it is a very hard movie to act in. You would probably find actors like Leonardo DiCaprio that would find it difficult to act in a movie with this type of plot, so you have to give them the credit when credit's due. Although the acting was a little dodgy, it was actually really good for this type of movie. It was shot on location, so it looked very realistic, very natural, and I think the colour scheme was really good that Eli Roth used in this film. Now, when you look at the locals, the villagers in this, compare it to other movies that are similar to it. Now, other movies use actors that look like they're just from New York, for example, whereas in this movie, they look very realistic, and the reason for that is because they used actual villagers in these places. I would be scared if I were them because of obviously all the stories that you hear about these villages, but they're going there, they're trusting them, they're talking to them. Some of them even got on board with the movie. Obviously they took place in the movie, they took part in the movie, and some of them helped produce the film as well. So Eli Roth and the rest of the crew, they brought a movie for them to watch because some of them have never seen a movie before, and the movie that they brought to watch was Cannibal Holocaust. I don't know if that was a good idea because that might have given them some ideas, but I thought that was quite funny. When we look at the gore, I think the gore was very extreme. Was over the top, possibly, but I think they had to use that type of gore to get their point across for the type of movie that they're making, especially with that first kill when they took the guy's eyes out, his tongue out, and completely mutilated him. That just set a standard for the rest of the film. I find it very poetic that the activists are being killed and eaten by the very people that were there to protect. Acting aside, I didn't feel for any of the characters apart from Justine, the main character. It's almost like they were just generic characters, especially people like Alejandro. It's almost like Eli Roth wrote these characters knowing that we knew that they were going to die and that we would maybe enjoy their deaths. I don't know, but I just felt like they were all very generic apart from Justine. If we skip to the end when Justine goes back to the city and she's given her account of what happened, I can see where she's coming from, because she's saying that she went there and she was under attack by the people who were taking down all the trees and stuff, and she was saying that the cannibals were the protectors of her and they kept her safe. Now, the reason I can see that why she done that is because she went into their land and they were only doing what they do to survive. So she knows that if you go into a lion's den, if they eat you, it's not their fault, because you've put yourself in that situation. It's the same with this. She's put herself into a situation where she didn't need to be in. She didn't have to get involved in, albeit she did save people by doing it, but she's went into that situation and she almost got killed because of it. But that's, I can see that she's saying it's not their fault because they would do that regardless. What I didn't really like about the end was she left Alejandro, which I would probably do as well, to be honest, because he was horrible. But she's left Alejandro, and then during the mid-credits she gets a phone call, and then we see a satellite image of Alejandro still alive. I didn't see the point in that unless they were planning on doing a sequel, but you don't need to do a sequel to these types of movies, so that part didn't make sense. And if they left it out, then nothing would have changed. At the end of the day, guys, I think this is a very underrated movie. It's not an amazing movie, and I didn't actually love the movie either. I thought it was good, but what I think is, I find it a more enjoyable movie than what people are telling me that it is, because before I seen the movie I was told it was terrible, one of Eli Roth's worst movies, not worth watching, and it's only a gore fest like Hostel. So I prepared myself for that, and then when I watched it I thought, yes, it's a gore fest, but it's a necessary gore fest. Unlike Hostel, Hostel didn't need to be as gory as it was. Movies like Hostel and Saw, they're torture porn, whereas this, you would expect to see the type of thing that you saw if you're going into a place where cannibals live. That's just what they do, well, apparently. So I think it was necessary gore, and I don't think it's anywhere near as bad as I was being told. What are your thoughts on this movie, guys? It is a touchy subject, because I know that some of these villagers are being seen in a bad light for these types of movies, but they did help them when they were filming the movie, but obviously it doesn't help. But what are your thoughts on these types of movies, and obviously what are your thoughts on this movie? As always, guys, thanks a lot for watching. Thanks for subscribing. I'll see you soon. Bye bye.